Hey everyone, welcome to Balanced Bodybuilding Radio, episode 18. I'm your host, Lee Marie. I am a glam girl bikini coach and an NPC bikini competitor, and I am here with my coach and my co-host.
Hey guys, Amy Enger, founder and CEO of Glam Girl Bikini.
So today we are talking about why we quit our goals, why we start something and we don't follow through, we don't finish it, specifically diets and workout plans or a cut if you're trying to do like a weight loss cut over a certain amount of time, a fitness challenge, a health challenge. What are the reasons why we quit and how can we stop quitting? But first, I actually have a listener question today. So we're
Oh,
going to
okay.
talk about, or we're going to take a listener question. This one was DM'd us on Instagram. So if you guys have questions for us, or if you have comments or topics you would like us to discuss, you can DM us on Instagram at Balanced Bodybuilding Radio, or if you're watching this on YouTube, just stick it in the comments below. So this question comes from Michelle Brisasco. I think I'm saying that right. We'll see. And she messaged us, thanks so much for always answering my questions. You guys are awesome. Thanks, Michelle. Here's another one for you guys. How to deal with injuries. I am dealing with plantar fasciitis right now. I'm doing what I can to work around it, like do upper body and lower body things that don't bug it, etc. But I'm curious if you guys have had anything major you've had to work through or how you deal with just normal random injuries.
Yeah, that's a loaded question.
It is. It is. So I actually have never played sports, and I think that is one thing that has contributed to the fact that I've never had a major injury. I
Yeah.
did tweak my back once, and I just literally had to rest from the gym for a few weeks with that. And that it literally was just resting, and I saw a physical therapist a couple of times and that was fine. But I have dealt with a lot of little niggles and small injuries that happen. I have actually had plantar fasciitis. I used to run a lot. And so a couple of things that helped me was if I ever like took a break and took up running again, I would try to ease into the mileage. So if you go gung ho on running or anything like hit related, where there's a lot of impact, like jumping and everything, and you go from 0 to 100, that can bring on plantar fasciitis or shin splints, which I've never had, but that's a common runner's thing. And then also making sure that you have the right shoes if you're running a lot, and then the shoes that you use for running should not be the same ones that you use in the gym. You're going to want to do something like a trainer, but make sure it's the right fit, it has enough support, those types of things. I have twisted my ankle in prep and had to my last prep last year had to take sprints out for a little while while I let my ankle rest. But for little injuries like that, I mean, all you can do is what you said you were doing already, Michelle, like resting, trying to do work around the injury, give the injury as much rest as possible. For small things like that. What about you, Amy? Have you had small or big time injuries?
So I've had a client with plantar fasciitis, and the seated calf raise is the best stretch ever for that. It, I mean, I'm not saying that I'm not a doctor, I'm not an orthopedist, so listen to whatever your doctor says, but we actually use that with weight on it to stretch his heel down to the floor. And it literally went away. There's tape jobs that you can do for that. But I've noticed the biggest thing with that one is the change of surfaces. So if you're running on grass and then you're running on concrete and then you're running on like a treadmill and stuff, or even just walking, those can be cumbersome. I think the biggest thing is just not giving up. I I mean, I have a client that right now that is dealing with a major injury, and all she could do in the beginning was move her arms without even weights. And I just think there's no excuses for anyone to just do nothing. I think that there's always something you can do, even if it's just your physical therapy that you're doing in rehab. where there's a will, there's a way. And I think that this really brings us segued into the first bullet point, where I hear all the time that people don't have time. They do not have time to reach their goals. And it's a common complaint. And yes, you can use that as a crutch. You can say that you don't have time for the gym, you don't have time to get your steps in or prep your food, but everybody has time. They say, you should hire the busiest person because they're going to get the job done. That is 100% true. You will find creative ways to get everything in. You can double down on a lot of tasks and make it happen. When I had young kids, I would wake up super early in the morning just to get my workout in, because I was in school getting my master's degree. I had like a 1-year old and a 2-year old, and I was working full time as a teacher and coaching. I mean, I don't even know how I had time to sleep, honestly, ever. But um, you can make it happen if you are intentional about it. Like you can sneak those things in throughout your day and double down. So that's my opinion. That's number one of the 6 reasons why people quit.
Yeah, I love that. And I mean, I just want to validate that when you say that you have no time, you probably do actually have very little time in your day. That's valid. We're all very busy. Um,
Mhm.
you just need to change your perspective and put value on getting healthier and getting fit, and then also realize that it doesn't need to take a lot of time, especially when you're first starting. You don't have to drive half an hour to the gym and spend 2 hours at the gym and drive half an hour back. That is a pretty big chunk of your day, and those of
Yeah.
us in competition prep do have to find a longer period of time to do that, but you can get great workouts in short amounts of time too. So just be encouraged that you can find time, within your busy schedule. So
Yeah.
this leads us into next point, which is having unrealistic goals. This is a very common reason that I see a lot of lifestyle clients quit, um, just because they want too much too quick. So, having realistic goals that are smart. So, they're specific goals, like I can actually see this happen versus I just want to be thinner. What does that mean? Like,
Mhm.
be specific about your goal. Have it be measurable. So something you can actually track happening, have it be attainable. This plays into this. You wanna talk to your coach and be like, hey, I want to do this. Is this realistic? Can I do this in this amount of time? Um, and then realistic and then timely. I love putting a time on your goals, not necessarily like, let's say someone is like, hey, I want to lose 20 pounds in 6 weeks, something like that. That is maybe a little bit ambitious, depending on where you're at and how much weight you have to lose. But instead of that, you could say for the next 6 weeks, I'm going to focus on following this nutrition plan and going to the gym three
Love it.
times a week for 6 weeks. That way, you have a goal that you can measure, you can track. The results are going to come, but you're not setting your heart on, I have to lose 20 pounds. So when you get done with the 6 weeks, if you've been following your nutrition and if you've been working out for 3 days a week, you're successful, and that's
Yeah.
encouraging. And you don't have to quit because you feel bad because you only lost 10 pounds, which is still incredible.
Absolutely. Number 3 is the wrong kind of motivation. And if you exercise or eat well because you think it is important or because you value health, you will be more likely to stick to that than if you start because of an external motivation, such as shame or guilt. So, the 2 important factors when it comes to adherence is your self worth. And so you deserve to spend time on yourself. You deserve to spend money, energy on you. And then the second one is confidence. So feeling like you know what to do in the gym and what to buy in the store and what to cook. So having the knowledge and that feeling of, I always talk about like there's some people that just feel like they're being selfish by taking care of themselves. And you just kind of need to shift that perspective in the fact that there's a lot of people that will just like always put themselves on the back burner and always put other people first, which is very admirable. It's a great quality to have. But at the same time, are you your best self when you're doing that? So I always try to tell myself, like, I'm going to be a better mom. I'm going to be in a better wife, in a better mood, a better friend if I pour and I fill up my cup first so that I can pour my cup into others. And if you have an empty cup, you're not going to have much to spare for those other people. So think of it in that frame of mind, especially if you're like people pleaser. And unfortunately, a lot of women do this where they just put themselves last. I think it's important to prioritize yourself so that you're the best version of you for other people and thinking of it in that frame of mind.
I love that. Like, just like a visual example too. Think about your energy and your like the level of your energy and what you have to give. Think about it on a scale of 1 to 10. If you're not taking care of your health, let's just say that your energy level is at like a 4 or a 5. If you give a 4 or a 5 because you're giving your top energy level to everyone around you, that's your top energy. That is admirable. But let's say you start putting yourself first and prioritizing your health and your fitness and your nutrition and your self-care, and that bumps your energy level up to a 10. And then because of that, you're giving everyone else, the second most, and that second most might be an 8.5. They're getting over
Mhm.
twice as much energy and time from you
Yeah.
just because you're prioritizing yourself. So they're going to appreciate it as well if you set the standard of practicing self-care and setting aside time for yourself too. So number 4 is lack of enjoyment or fear of pain or injury. I think this is a big one. This one might even be, it could be a reason you quit, lack of enjoyment. Fear of pain or injury could be a reason if you kind of jump into a program that might be a little advanced for you, but it can also prevent people from even starting. So there are
Hmm.
so many different ways to get fit and be active. You can find a sport, you can find a game, you can get outside, do an activity, you can do yoga, you can take a class, or you can train with weights. And I will say too that working with a coach or a trainer who can actually teach you how to do things properly makes it more fun. It's way more fun to go into the gym with a plan, knowing what you're going to do, knowing that you can do everything. And then it also helps you not be scared of getting hurt as well, because there's ways to perform everything safely, and that's what a coach can help you do. So making that investment in a coach can help you find something you enjoy and keep you safe and teach you how to train properly.
Yeah, that kind of circles back to that number 3 and that confidence. If you
Mhm.
know what you're doing is going to be effective, because you may be a brain surgeon, but you didn't have any time to, study nutrition or, physical exercise. So like hire out your weaknesses, employ people that have taken the time to become an expert in that field and utilize them so that you can, you know, pull from their knowledge in that regard. Number 5 is poor access to exercise facilities or unpleasant exercise environment. So, um, any sort of like easy access adherence will go up. So, like if you have easy access to an exercise facility, your adherence is more likely to be sustained. So, a workout facility, like in terms of being user friendly. I think in this one, for me as a female, like I know I was like super intimidated about weights. I mean, I will tell this story about how I was in the basement of a YMCA and a guy like approached me to like try to teach me what to do. I think he was just trying to be nice, but I was so intimidated because I was the only female in there. I started crying. And I was like, it was it was awful. And I didn't want to go back there again. So I think just like the environment of, are there people like with a good vibe, and also just like how long of a drive is it Is it convenient? Like, is it on the way to something? Is it in your basement? That's super convenient. There's no excuse if it's in your home.
Yeah.
Different things like that, I think, are important to think about, and think about like the support that you would get when you're around other people. So not only is the equipment safe and user friendly, but do people around you motivate you to like work harder, or do they deter you from that or make you feel self-conscious?
Mm,
So, I mean, there's a gym for everybody. You
mm.
know, sometimes we get gym intimidated.
Yeah.
So, if that's your jam, then go to like a Planet Fitness. So that, it's not like a bro gym, but if your jam is a bro gym, then you can find that too.
Absolutely. And then most gyms, if you ask when you sign up, they'll give you a free like they'll have a trainer walk you through orientation. They'll walk you through,
Yeah.
they'll show you
Yeah,
where everything is, kind of how to use any machines, things like that. So take advantage of that for sure. Okay.
absolutely.
So number 6, so this is our last point, and then we've got some tips for you, is lack of support. This is also huge. So numerous studies show that perceived or real lack of support from significant other or meaningful friend is highly associated with quitting. So with exercise abandonment. So if you feel like there's pushback, like your significant other or your close friends don't support your goals and almost might even say, hey, why don't you skip the gym and come out with us? Things like that, that can wear you down unless you have a very like determined set, mindset of I will not
Hmm.
quit. So try to find people that will support your goals, whether they're doing your goals or not. Find
Yeah.
friends that will support you in your goals, communicate your goals, let them know how important it is to you that they encourage you to, keep going to the gym and keep eating your healthy foods, even if they don't do it with you. I mean, bonus points if you can find them to do it with you, because that is going to help you stick to it as well. But even if it's not their journey right now, you can communicate with them, hey, this would really help me reach my goal if you encouraged me to go to the gym, when I complained about it, or when I said that I was going to order this instead of that you encouraged me with that, or didn't say anything, didn't comment on it. So I would just encourage you to communicate that, even if they're not, maybe they're just neutral, but communicate, hey, it would help me if you would be supportive and encouraging.
Yeah. 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 I think it's the difference between like a food pusher and somebody that I always feel like, my friends, because they've been through contest prep, even if they're not in contest prep and they're like eating out at a restaurant and they're drinking, like they get it if I say, I'm in prep. Like it's like there's not a question asked. And at this point, my family is the same way. So, top tips on how to never quit a fitness program. Number one is work on your self perception and your inner motivation. Make it clear to yourself that you are exercising to improve your health and well being. So, knowing your why.
Mhm. Number 2 is to reinforce with that social support and professional feedback. So make sure you have support around you, communicate with them, and then get some sort of professional support or feedback at the start. You don't have to hire a full-time coach, but you could hire a trainer for one session, or you could just get that free gym orientation, somebody that can help you get started the right way.
Set smart goals, which Lee Marie touched on those before, and set up a specific training plan. And the last one, take it away.
Go do it. Just go do it. Don't think, just put on your shoes and go. So if you
Absolutely.
are listening to this and you're thinking, how do I start? Where do I start? What do I do? I have these goals. I have no idea how to get myself there. And I don't want to step on stage. That's okay. Maybe you do want to step on stage. Maybe you don't. But if you want to, just have a free call with us, let us know your goals. Maybe work with one of our coaches at Glam Girl. We work with competition clients and lifestyle clients, and we can help you with whatever goals you have. Find an easy way to get there and take that first step. So if you want to book a call with us, sign up to work with the team, the link is in the bio of this, or it'll be in the description of this episode. It's in the bio of our Instagram. You can follow us at Glam Girl Bikini and at Balanced Bodybuilding Radio. And I'll put it in the description below too. So you can just click that get started link and we will help you take it from there.
Thanks for listening, guys.
Thank you. See you next time.